What's up, everybody? It's Josh from Thousand Echoes, and today I have a very special guest, Mr. Bryan Hopkins, the one and only. You're an independent artist. You've been writing songs for how long?
I started writing my own stuff in 2006.
Wow. Very cool.
I wrote a song called The Fight. It came into town. We recorded this song. It is now going to be the theme song to Las Vegas, to October 1. It is all over Las Vegas. Billboards that pop up or billboards that are there on the side of buildings. It's Vegas strong, Vegas strong, Vegas strong.
Amazing.
The hockey team, their theme is Vegas strong. The Raiders, it's all Vegas strong, right? And I'm going to back it up because I keep saying, yeah, I wrote it 8 years ago yesterday. I rewrote the song 8 years ago yesterday because about a month prior to October 1, the mass shooting in Las Vegas, which I happened to be at. Before that, I was invited to a meeting with some bigwigs, a lot of very powerful people sitting in a room that this guy, Brian Lindsay, put all these people in for the American Heart Association. Two young men got up and spoke and talked about the 18 surgeries that they had on their hearts between two brothers. Two young kids shared this story. And I said to Brian, before I walked in the room, why am I here?
Yeah.
We have some of the most powerful people in our town in this room. And he says to me, I just want you here. Just be here. So when they went around the room, when it was getting started, you had to introduce who you were. And I got nervous. I don't get nervous. Like I don't, it doesn't bother me, but I got nervous just saying my name in front of all these people. At the end of the day, all of these people were around my table. And Brian said, that's why I brought you here. Well, I went home and picked up the guitar. There was another band there called Otherwise, big rock band. And they were there as well. And we all took a picture. And I went home and picked up the guitar, but nothing was there. It was something that I found of Ben's, a piece of music in my phone.
Ben
Carey. He's my bandmate from the band Elvis Monroe. He's from a band called Lifehouse, and before that, he was in Savage Garden. And in between those two bands, for 1 year, he was in a band called Tal Buckman. She's So High and all those big hits.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I grabbed that and I started this melody to a song, and I said, hey, I got something here. And I called up Adrian Patrick from Otherwise, and he comes over and I said, hey, why don't you help me with writing this song? Because I think we should write a song for the American Heart Association. And he goes, it's all here. Like, why do you need me? Like, I'm like, because it's not something I want anything for, right?
Yeah.
Let's just do this together. Ben and I already had it. So Ben, we're all sitting there. He's like, you guys, you're letting me phone this in. He just kept saying, it's done.
Yeah.
You guys are just including me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And he's a songwriter, so he knows. The song was written, and it was really cool of him to take notes like that. Well, October 1 happens. Nothing was happening with the song. We weren't doing anything with it. It wasn't even done. It was, we had played it once, but you know how as a songwriter, you're like, let's try this.
Yeah.
I'm making up stuff on stage at the House of Blues.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So just
Yeah.
see if we have something. Trying out this song. Is it something that we're headlining the House of Blues at the show in Las Vegas? They're our crowd, and I like to do that. I would try out a song in front of 4,000 people. Hey, we wrote that song last night in the hotel room. Let's try that out in front of 4,000 people.
Yeah.
Let's do it right now. And I have video of them singing Backyard Family Barbecue to me, 3,000-4,000 people I have on video. And I'm like, I think this is a keeper, but so we did that with that. Well, October 1 happens. And on October 4th, I knew we were doing a show, a benefit concert for already on the 5th.
Oh, wow.
For Brian Lindsay, the same guy. And I said, Brian, called him up. I promised you a song for the American Heart Association, but I have changed this song. I rewrote it to fit what I went through. It's my melody. It's my, like, do you mind? And he goes, not at all. Wow. So I sat down and rewrote the song to fit what I just went through.
Are you open to speaking about and telling your story? Is that something you'd want to do?
I'll do that with you.
Okay.
I did it with you the other night. I did it with you and Jason only because we were going into the studio and we were going to be recording this song. And you had already started on it, and you guys did a great job. But when I walked in, I just wanted to, I call it like not resetting, but setting the room kind of thing.
Sure.
I do that when I'm walking out on stage, even. This is my 30 minutes or my hour. Yeah. Whatever it is. Well, I came into the studio and I needed to make sure. I would have brought sage and smudged the room even. Yeah. But couldn't take it on the plane and, whatever. So I just, and it didn't dawn on me. But yeah, the way you and I connected on the phone was just like, oh, no, this is the right guy to be doing this with. For real. Wow. For real.
I appreciate that.
Ben saying that. Ben was like,
honor.
This guy's awesome. His attitude's incredible. And he's talented. And I was like, wow. And thank you.
Thank you.
But so I told you this story to make sure that we were honoring the 58 when recording the song. We were honoring not just the 58, but the families that I just met. Wow. The people that survived it, that they may not know anyone who has lost a life there. They just, what 22,000 people went through and what they saw is something that no one should go through. Because we're talking about music, you and I, right now. Yeah. That's what we're doing this moment. We're talking about songwriting and all. That's all that was going on that night. Yeah. It was a perfect night of music. It really was. There were no fights. No, it was just a great 3-day event, and we were rolling out to do the Last Artist, one of my favorite, Jason Aldean.
Yeah, I was going to say who was on stage.
And I was there with Brett Young the day before. Yeah. I went to see Brett. Brett said, no, come into town. Ben was playing guitar for him that week. Oh, really? On the run, and came into town until his guitar player came back and to do that show. So we stayed in town because Brett asked us to, and we were on a radio tour. So I had went to see Brett on Saturday, and then Sunday went back, and Ben met me at the gate around 4 or 5 o'clock, and we were walking around, and then we made our way backstage, and we were talking to a lot of artists. There were like Luke Combs was, out. He was on that doing his first single was out, Hurricane, and and Kane Brown had just performed. Even Chris Young had just walked in, and he headlined the year before. And I'm standing there talking to Chris for a while, and then we saw Bryan O'Connell. Bryan O'Connell he's the owner of Route 91. And we walk over and we do a water toast. Say, congratulations, this is amazing. You may or may not know who we are. We played for you the first year. And we're just talking, and the door opens up on Jason's bus, and Brittany had popped her head out and said, well, we're going to go fanboy out and watch from the front. And we walk up and we give Chris a hug, and he goes on stage. There was a girl named Nicole, and her friend Nicole, I met her at another concert. She'd seen so I bumped into her a few times. That night, I saw her and said, hey, I'm going to come out and watch Jason from the front. I'll be in this area. And as I made my way, this guy runs at me, and he's like, Elvis. He's like, hey, man, I saw you with Jake Owen in Alaska. Is there any chance that I can get a picture with you? And I said, well, for starters, my name is Bryan, and Elvis Monroe is a band, and this is Ben, and Ben goes, can I wear your hat? And puts on the hat, and we take a picture. And he goes about 15 feet behind us, he and his best friend, Brian, and I only know this now because of what happened. And Ben and I are standing there watching the show, and I see Nicole and Nicole, so we walk up behind them, and I said hi, and we're watching the show, and And then it sounded like fireworks going off. And then we look at the PA thinking it's a PA that's acting up or something. And then all of a sudden Ben goes, run. And you see Jason Aldean just start running across the stage this way. And you can see Mandalay Bay. We're on the front left side. We're right there in the pathway of what they said was happening. I see two people just go down and people start running, right? And I look to my left and I look back like this and I see a girl go right over the top of a guy. And at that moment, I just, I'm like taking off with Ben, like going this way. And then I stop and Nicole are standing there frozen. And I reach out and I grab her hand and I said, look at me, and I'll get you out. Come on, stay with me. And I look back and Ben's gone. He had been knocked down. So at that moment, we got separated. And I have her hand and there's hundreds of people running. And I don't know how, but I'm an ex-athlete. And it was like everything just slowed down in that moment. It was weird.
Yeah.
And I can talk about this like it's a movie because it plays out like a movie in my head. And I know that I'm safe now,
Yeah.
So I can talk about it like this and talk about it very matter of fact. But so I have her hand and I start running and I see the door that I came from backstage. There's no security guard standing there. They'd ran. And I run up to the corner and I clear it. And I said, let's go. And we start running. Backstage area, there's a stage here. We're over here. I'm taking him to the backstage area and everyone's running this way and to the gates that way. It's like an outer body experience. It's almost like I can see myself running. Mm. And I've talked to, Nicole and they said the same thing because we couldn't run fast enough. I'm in boots like this and I keep looking at them saying, look at me. You're going to be okay. I got you. And I don't know these people. But I'm focused, right? And you're hearing bullets hit the metal of the staging. You can hear it splatting on the pavement. You can hear it zip, zip, zip when we were standing there. It was when Ben said run. And we come up around another corner and I clear the corner again. Let's go. I'm like, okay. And then there's a fence. And the fence is like 8-10 feet high. And I knew I could jump, get over. But can I get them over? Somebody else, get in here. And they open up a door to a truck. It's a refrigerator truck. So it's really cold. And I lift the two girls up in and just stand there lifting people in to the truck.
Wow.
Until I was the last one. And it was like, okay. And I get into the truck and there's a screaming girl and a guy pounding on the walls and people on their phones and looking scared. And there's about 24 people in there. I don't remember any faces. There's one I remember, maybe two. And I haven't watched the video because what happened was Nicole Yorba was talking to the girl, trying to get her to calm down because I'm trying to keep everyone quiet, trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Can't fight. Got to figure this out. So I step to the door and there's gunfire. That's not happening. I go reach for my phone and I go to make a video for my family. And it's only 12 seconds long because the dude that's all drunk reaches down and throws rock fingers in there and he's like getting loud. He's at a concert. He's drunk.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm like, hey, man, is this your girlfriend? He said, yes. I go, take care of her. And then Yorba just pops up, hey, asshole, take care of your girlfriend. And he goes, okay. And he starts taking care of his girl. And I look at the two Nicoles and they pull me down because I'm standing now trying to figure out what to do. And I'm telling everyone, stay down, stay quiet. We're going to be okay. Then I'm like, I don't want to. It felt like I'm not going to die in here. I don't want to die in here. Someone went to the door. So I go to the door with them and open up the door. And there's a break in the fire. And someone had taken the ramp off the back of a truck that you roll stuff up into the truck and put it on the fence. Open up the door. Dude hits the ramp and he's gone. And I'm like, somebody has to stay and catch the girls on the other side. It's a big fence. And someone did for a second. And so I'm lifting people out of the truck and then putting them over the fence. And the two Nicoles are standing there helping put people over the fence. So they're staying with me, and we're putting people over the fence. We were the last ones. I looked at them and said, okay, I'm going to put you over, and you go. And they're like, we're not leaving you. The reality was I promised them that I would get them out, so they're not going to leave me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I will put you over, and I will come. And I start to try and get Nicole Rufino up twice, and she slips. And I'm like, because it took 3 of us to get people over the fence. And so I'm like, boom, I grab her. I'm like, let's go. And literally in this arm. And I start to run to the right. And I hear, no, run this way. Run towards Hooters. It's like slow motion in my head. And he runs towards Gunfire. And they don't remember him. I do, because it gave me guidance. I'm like, okay. And I grab them, her hand, and she grabs the other Nicole. And we start running. I remember later asking what happened to the girl that was screaming that said, I promised her that I would catch her on the other side with the drunk boyfriend. And they said, no, I was holding her hand and her boyfriend, and there was one other lady, and they were following me. I remember seeing a body and 2 more along the fence. I say this all the time, but I'm 6'3". Where I have nightmares is that I didn't stop and pick anybody up. At that moment, when this was happening, Nicole Rufino grabs her phone and hits speed dial to her dad. She's crying, and we're trying to keep moving. And her friend Nicole Yorba, grabs the phone and goes, there's been an incident, meet us at Hooters. Hangs up the phone. I'm trying to keep them safe and get through a gate that's been now pushed over on this end. And there was a gentleman, I can't get the image out of my head, and he was shot right in the sternum. No shirt on, and like his friend on top of him in tears, trying to breathe life into him. And I said, run towards the dark. Nicole Rufino's crying, and she doesn't remember seeing him. And we run across the street, and there's a car parked in the street. Now, the older lady takes off to the right, the couple takes off to the left, and we're running across the street, and there's about 6 or 8 people hiding behind a car, looking up, with the passenger shot in the passenger seat. I keep telling him, keep moving, keep run towards the dark. We get to a fence where it's blocked. So I crawled underneath, and 2 other guys helped me pull back the fence. And we pulled the fence back so people could get under it. And there were people who followed me there too. And then we got to Hooters. All these people were running up to me covered in blood and mud and crying, and I gathered them all around, asked people who had phones on them, who had battery, do you know phone numbers you can call? And I'm gathering them around a machine, and it's just chaos. And I'm trying to keep them calm, and then somebody yelled, he's got a gun, and the whole place just took off running. So I grabbed that group and ran them down a hallway and put them in a kitchen. And an off-duty police officer blocked the front door. I grabbed the back door and kept them huddled up and quiet. Stay down. I'm going to watch this door. He's watching the other door. And then when they cleared it, we walk out front, and Nicole Rufino's parents made it there, like fast. Her dad is an ex-CSI guy. They grabbed them, and they're like, we'll take you home. I'm like, no, I have to take care of these other people. It was chaos everywhere. They're saying there's shooters here, bombs there, all this stuff going on. Every hotel's in total disarray. It's chaos on the strip. People running, screaming everywhere. So I said, I'm going to walk that way as far as I can away from the strip, and anyone can come with me. And about 13 people holding hands, strangers. And I'm holding their hands, and I'm walking down the road along the airport line next to the airport, where the airport's blacked out, right? All the lights are off. And we walk to Yvonne's. This girl calls her stepdad, and he remembers this, and he reminds me all the time, I'm the one who picked you up. I'm the one who I'll never forget the look on your face and what you did for my, daughter and everyone. And we get to his house, and Ben had called me when he was running.
Yeah.
And I was in the truck, the refrigerator truck, and I said, "Run, I'm gonna be okay." And I'm like, "You okay?" And he's like, I am. He's just running, and on the phone with me, and he's diving behind cars. He gets to safety, and he calls me and says, "I don't have much phone left. You gotta let people know that we're safe. Post online." So I did, and from that point on, I get home. A friend of mine, one of the girls that I had helped, was my sound man. And he said, "You helped my girlfriend. And so I'm going to come get you. Where are you?" And he drops me off at home. I go in my door and I tell my parents. And on that drive, CNN had called me, and I was doing an interview with them voice-wise, because they saw my Facebook thing.
Yeah.
And then they asked me if I had a video clip. I'm like, just something I was making for my parents and trying to keep everyone calm. It's nothing. They're like, "Send it to us." So right when I walk in and tell my parents what's going on, my mom turns on the TV, and there's my face.
Wow.
And it's on loop, and my voice, and the home phone rings, my phone rings, my dad's, mom's phones are ringing, and it's the news people from all over, everywhere. And we're not answering it. And I'm telling my parents what happened. And my dad said, "Were you scared?" And I said, "No, I wasn't." And then all of a sudden I just start shaking and I start crying. And because it hit me like, I'm not bulletproof. What was I doing?
Wow.
I wasn't moving real fast. I was trying to keep people calm. I was trying to keep myself calm. Slow is fast kind of thing.
Sure.
Like if I move methodically.
Amazing.
I was up for, from that moment on, there were just lines of people outside my door lining up. Channel 7 to Daily Mail to Access, whatever. It just, I was up until Tuesday night at like 7:30 at night. I hadn't been to bed. I was doing interviews around the world telling this. And the only reason why I kept doing it is they kept saying, "Please don't stop telling. This is positive.
Yeah.
Please keep telling this story. This needs to be out there as much as all the bad stuff." And each time I would say, "I think I'm done."
Yeah.
"One more time. Can you tell it one more time?" And that's what they kept asking me. So one more time was days later. I broke down. And he's friends of mine right now. He's at Sirius XM. He's on the 10 spot. It's Mac on the radio. Mac is on Sirius XM now. He was at iHeart at the time in Florida. And he wanted an interview. And I'm standing outside. I had already been up for a day and a half. No, it's the last day. It's Tuesday, about 4 o'clock. Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Yeah.
3rd of October.
The 3rd.
Wow.
So it's Tuesday. Well, my cousin, who you just heard on the phone, called me on day one. And I broke down talking to him. He knows what I went through. That's why he's like, wants to be here and hear this song in person. He lives in Vancouver.
Oh,
So
very
he's
cool.
driving here. He's in town right now. He's the one that I was
Yeah.
inviting over here. My buddy Chuck Capello, the gentleman who, he's like a brother to me now. And he ended up buying us a bus and paying, sponsoring my tours and stuff. And it's Capello Heavy Transport. I love the guy. And we're on the phone and he's just making sure I'm all right. And we're talking and I'm just getting some water. And I promised that I would come out and do this interview with, I don't know who it was, and this man sees me at the blackjack table inside the Tropicana, which is not there anymore. They blew it up to build the baseball field. He's taller than I am. And I remember this because he looks at me and goes, "Hey," he stops his game and stands up and goes, "You did good." And he reaches out and shakes my hand.
Yeah.
And I went in for a hug.
Wow.
Total stranger. And I start crying, broke down, right? And I remember seeing this Indian lady with a cane. And she goes, "Hey, young man." She's like, "I'm proud of you." And I'm like, oh. I just stopped crying. I just stopped. It was these moments. First, my cousin, these two strangers. And all these news people see me and just start chasing after me. And I ran across the street. Well, they just broke the law and ran straight across Las Vegas Boulevard, jumping fences, get to the other side. And I'm walking up the street just trying to gather myself. And They put cameras and phones in my face and, microphones and whatever. And I'm like, I can you see that I don't want to talk about it right now? I have somewhere to be. And they just kept asking questions. And to get them to stop, I just started talking. I'm not going to repeat myself. And I just talked and walked and got to where I was. And the next day, though, on that Tuesday, Mac, he just, right when he started the interview, said, and I remember this because he was like, first off, you did good. But how are you?
Yeah.
And I just broke down.
Wow.
Nobody asked me, how are you?
Doing.
Yeah, my cousin and stuff, but I'm saying, like, not people that were just, hey, will you do an interview with me? No one asked me that. And I lost it. He's crying, the producer, he's like, it's okay, Bryan. Everyone here is crying too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not, it just, the realization of, like, what was going on. Plus, I was exhausted. I hadn't been to bed.
Sure.
I just kept doing all these interviews. A French TV crew saw me crying, and they put me in their car and said, hey, want some food and water, whatever. They give me stuff. I mean, they're really sweet. They also had an agenda.
Sure.
But I was like, hey, they gave me food and water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you an interview. And then Nicole Ruffino texted me, are you doing okay? I didn't know her last name. I just knew it was Nicole. I kept calling them my echoes. Nicole and Nicole. That was the joke. They were my echoes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they found her through my video. And she's like, I've had a few people come to my house. I have to go do this interview. It's the only one I said I would do. And that's it. It was like CNN. This news crew was like, is that one of the echoes? They put us together. We thought it was cheesy, but the first time we saw each other, just tears are flowing. That was the first time we were brought together. I felt this thing to protect her. She almost died a month later of meningitis. And was in the hospital, and she had asked for me. She wanted to hold my hand. And so she doesn't remember that. But it must have been something embedded in her. I went out on tour with Three Doors Down. I rewrote the song The Fight.
Yeah.
On that Wednesday.
So 3 days after the shooting.
Yes, the 4th. Rewrote it and performed it on the 5th. And then again on the 6th. But on that night, I had her come to the show. I held her hand. It ended up on, like, Inside Edition and Daily Mail and all these things. Me holding her hand and singing this song because I rewrote it to fit our situation. And we performed it, and we had some other artists and stuff jump up with us that night. And my mom was like, there's something there. You holding her hand. And I'm like, no, stop. We just went through something. But my mom ends up having an anxiety attack, lands in the hospital that night. Next morning, I had to call 911, get my mom in the hospital. She gets released, and I'm like, okay. And I had to jump in a car and take off and go to California for another benefit concert, the money that was being raised for all this. And we were asked to play it. So Ben and I were driving out there, and I'm trying to get some sleep. And DJ Silver, Jason Aldean's best friend and the guy who opened up right before Jason, calls and says, hey, man, you saved my mother-in-law. I'm like, what? She wants to talk to you.
Wow.
And he goes, I saw you the other day and I only did one interview and wasn't going to do any more. And I saw you and I was going to tell you then. But she said, that's the guy who saved me. And he goes, I owe you, man. That, it's like, thank you. And I'm like, you don't owe me anything. Can I talk to her? And we talked, and I listened to her, and I was a wreck. I mean, I keep saying, I cried.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I cried.
Yeah.
I cried knowing
I'm
that
tearing
I
up right
met somebody.
now, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So,
amazing.
Thanks. So we ended up getting to that show, and we get to California, and we do this pull in, and there's Channel 7 California News is there, right? Southern California. And 3 girls are interviewing on TV, and I'm like, oh, they're not here for me. Good. All of a sudden, the girls run up to me, and they're crying, and 2 of the 3 are running up, and they're like, you did this, you put us in the truck, and then you put us over the fence.
Oh, my gosh.
And the 2 girls that were with you helped us. And I'm like, whoa, I have sunglasses on, tears flowing. I'm like, I did what? And then I'm like, I didn't remember seeing any faces. I did an interview with Tucker Carlson. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
And I said no. I didn't want to do any more interviews. And then he called personally and said, would you please, hey, would you do this? And so I did. My downstairs neighbor, who used to work for Eminem, personal security, and the president, he said, I'll go with you. I said, okay. And I went because it was right outside Mandalay Bay and right outside the property where we're going to be doing the show.
Yeah.
You and I are going to be with Jason and Silver. He tells me that there's some SWAT guys there and whatnot. He could tell, in the surrounding areas, off duty, whatever. He's like, that guy's carrying this, whatever. And I'm like, okay, to make me feel okay. But they were all there protecting.
Wow.
The Tucker, right? Lieutenant Governor walks up and he wanted to meet me. The dispatch guy wanted to meet me. Both wanted to hear my story. And we're on live TV, but they're doing their interviews. When they're done, they're coming up and talking to me. The dispatch guy's like, hey, we talk about you at the fire station. It's our job to run towards danger. You didn't have to do what you did. Now, flash forward, like October 16th or something, I'm being asked to perform to raise money for two fallen Alaskans, Adrian Murphy and Doreen Anderson. It's because we play Alaska a lot. I said, yes, we will. Went out and met one of the moms, Yvonne Murphy. She's telling me stories about her son, right? Well, the next day, the show's over, sold out show. I got Nicole Rufino checking in on me, talking to her on FaceTime. This guy walks up and I'm like, yeah, it was a success. The town showed up for this, in Anchorage. And this guy, Brian, goes, hey, man, thank you for doing this for my friend. I'm like, of course. I'm sorry to meet you like this. He goes, no, I was there. We met. And I went, and it was like the walls were moving. I realized he and his friend Adrian were the ones that I took pictures with that called me Elvis. And 22,000 people, and that I'm 3,000 miles away playing a concert. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, what? And I'm hugging him, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I heard you dove on him. He's like, yeah, it was instant. And I dove on top of him and stayed there with him.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, heroic, sad, all the things, right? I look out and Ben comes running in the room because Ben realized at the same time he was putting gear in the rental car that they had us in. They had these TV screens flashing these pictures of them. And I looked over at Brian's shoulder and saw the guy I took a photo with in the black cowboy hat.
Wow.
And was just like, whoa. And now flash forward, they are doing a concert to raise money, again, still in Vegas now at the Venetian. They have all these artists. Britney Spears donated a painting and was in a video thing. Penn and Teller, all these different Cirque stuff, all
Sure.
this, Mike Tyson, all these people, everyone, big red carpet thing. I'm closing the show with the fight.
Wow.
Me,
Wow.
Ben, and our violinist who now plays with Lady Gaga. And it was my first moment ever as a songwriter to look up and phones are out. People are standing and phones are out. Sold out theater at the Venetian, 2,100 or something. I look over and Jules walking out with her phone in the air. Then all of the acts, Gordy Brown, everyone, all of them are out with their phones in the air, standing behind me, singing the chorus.
Wow.
Jewel gets on the mic with me. I grab her, put her between me and Nicole and the other Nicole, and I'm singing.
And this song is a month old at this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's 1 month
essentially.
old. Exactly. 1 month
Wow.
old. I wrote it to give to the city, right?
Yeah.
And Joe Nichols said, I'll sing on it. Went into the studio. He sang on it. Steel Panther. Toby Rand from Rockstar Supernova, the TV show. Chance Pena from The Voice, who since has, a bunch of, he's got hits with John Legend and all these people. And He's killing it himself. I'm watching him out there just killing it. I was talking to Darius Rucker. He was corresponding back and forth with me through text because I wanted it to be bigger than me, like a We Are the World kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was way too hard on Ben to work on the song. It's coming from studios from all over the country.
Yeah, because of the trauma, right? I mean,
Just
he was grazed by
he
a
was.
bullet.
Yeah. And he almost got the blood poisoning from it and stuff. This song just, we played it on the Three Doors Down tour every night. There's only a live version of it, one recording from one of the nights.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Harold, we call him Sweater Vest Kev, was our camera guy on the road with us, and he cut together videos. So with the help of Brian Claypool, our attorney, who was a survivor as well, who helped a bunch of people get the things that they need to be able to move forward. He's a powerful, yet big-hearted man. He's the reason why I'm here right now.
Wow.
He found out that he put me on a plane to come here and record this song with you guys. Long story over, I'm on tour with Three Doors Down, and Nicole and I fell in love. And we were together for 6.5 years up until recently. We just grew apart, and her mom never saw her being with someone like me, a musician. Her dad and I got along well. He understood me. Mom, she gave up her music career. If you asked her to sing, she would sing her ass off.
Okay.
She's really good.
Sure.
Went off, became a nurse, retired. You can tell she's sad that she never pursued the thing that she really loved. And here I am getting to do what I love. But what we do does not come with stability. It comes with waves. And I say this, and I'm going to, have you ever surfed?
No, I never have. Yeah.
Okay. I've never surfed either.
Okay.
Okay. The thing about my friends who surf and talk about it, I compare what we do to being a surfer. In the entertainment business, well, you got to prepare, you're bored, you got to do all the things. You got to take the ocean. The waves have to be there.
Sure.
The timing has to be right. You have to go out there early. You have to make sacrifices that people wouldn't normally do. What do you mean I got to get up before the sun? All these things just to surf, right? It's the same with music.
Yeah.
You have to give up a lot to be as talented as you are. I said that to you in the studio.
Yeah.
I can see the things that you chose not to have, comfort, stability, to go after an art and to live a life that's fulfilling. You have to give up a lot.
Totally.
Yeah. So
powerful, bro.
It's true, though. So
it is so true.
So in surfing, you have to break through the waves. You have to go through. You're busting your ass to get out there. It's like a lot of work. Then you get there, and you have to wait for the wave, but you also have to wait your turn. But be prepared.
Right.
When your time comes, you're going to catch a wave. Maybe that wave's too big for you, and you crash and burn immediately. You don't even stand up.
Sure.
But you got to turn around.
Right.
Now you got to wait your turn again. But if you catch the wave, and it's your time, you ride this wave. It's beautiful. There's this, if you get the tube, you're riding it in. You take it all the way to the beach. It's beautiful. That whole moment, that's 10, 20, 30 seconds maybe, right? But that's like catching a run, a tour, song on the radio, whatever, right into the beach.
Yeah.
But now you make a decision. If I want it again, I got to go put in all the work, and I got to go out there, and I got to do it again. I'm in your space right now, and the hair standing up on my arms as I'm saying this. This is your creative spot for you and your wife. To be able to give a gift to people, there has to be people like us who are willing to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
To do whatever it takes to be able to strap on a guitar, to jump on a mic, to be able to get lost with you and make you forget about your shitty day at work or week or whatever it is. Your wife just went on a road trip to go to a concert. That's what it's about. What people sacrifice to give up to come see us do our thing. But if we're not working on our craft, if we're not putting in the work, if we're not doing it, it's not worth seeing. But the sacrifices that we make, the songs that we write, that we connect, All of those things matter. And without us, what is this world?
Yeah.
But then also, you can't look at us and think, oh, there's all this stability. You have to see what kind of people we are.
Sure.
Who we are. We're artists.
Yeah.
And artists who create. So this song, The Fight, I wrote about that. We're here doing this now. We're recording a song that is going to be the theme song to Las Vegas. It's going to be the theme song to the fallen 58 angels, to their families, to everyone who survived that night. It's Vegas Strong, The Fight. I played this song on October 1st this year. I turned it down for 8 years. First year, they called us and said, would you come play? Ben and I said, we can't. And we were doing a lot at that time anyway. The next year, he's like, no way. It's too much for him. He doesn't talk about this stuff, right? And I never asked him again. I've been hit by documentaries, all these things. If they wanted just me, I'll tell my story. If they want Ben and Nicole, we're out. They would get me first and then try and beg to get them. And I protected the both of them for years. This year was my first year as a solo artist. So I said yes to it because I knew that I just needed to get a guitar player to learn one song, come do the show with me. And I told Ben, hey, I'm doing this. And he goes, you doing what? Who's playing with you? And I said, I don't know yet. Probably Miles, And he goes, let me do it. But it's October 1. He's like, let me do it. I don't want you to do that by yourself. So all of a sudden, he's looking out for me. And at sound check, I look over, and there was a moment. Music has this thing. We hit the first chorus, and all of a sudden, I see tears coming out behind his sunglasses. And I reached out and touched his shoulder and was singing the song to him at sound check. And he just put his head down, and he knew I was looking out for him. And I'm like, are you good? Can we do this tomorrow? He goes, yeah, no, I'm not going to be good, but I'm good. If you watch the performance, I stopped twice in the song. And I stopped twice because I'm checking on him. He had been up all night because he had a show, and he still never went to bed, just came right to the 7:30 in the morning show. I kept him from doing all the interviews. I look back, you had the governor, the sheriff, the commissioner, this commissioner, this whatever. All the powerful people who run our city were sitting on the stage, right?
Amazing.
They're all in tears. The sheriff goes, this is a platinum song. As he's blowing his nose and wiping away tears on camera. I get a text message from the commissioner, and he's like, can you please call me? They said this has to be our theme song. We don't know what it takes to record a song. Maybe we can pull favors, maybe whatever, but if you're serious about giving this song to the city, we want to put every download, every dollar made from this song towards the one memorial, which is going to be right there outside the baseball field on the grounds.
And this is a structure, right? I mean, it's a
building.
It's a building.
Memorial.
Okay.
I said, I'm not a big enough artist for this. Thank you for the compliment. He's like, no, this is our song.
Wow.
8 years, and we just heard it. Commissioner Gibson, like, are you kidding? Like, but here's what it's going to take. If I find a way to record the song, then how are we going to let people know that it's there and what we're doing?
Sure.
And my manager jumps on and goes, we can make it in tiers. $1 download, $5, $10, $100, or you write your what you want to pay for this song. And he goes, well, tonight the Golden Knights are giving us $1 million to start off this fund. And the Golden Knights are very, very connected to Route 91, very Vegas strong.
Sure.
So they put money towards it already. I know the show that we're doing, they're putting money towards that as well. The tribe that's building there on these grounds. So at the end of the day, he said, have you heard of these 3 campaigns? And then I'm like, yeah. Have you heard of this national campaign? I said, yes. He goes, that's us. So we can get this song out to everyone. And you find a way to record it. And he's like, I'm very excited, Bryan. So this is October 1, 2025, which was just days ago.
Yeah.
And we are going today, as we speak. I keep checking my phone doing this interview, and I apologize because
No, that's okay.
Matt Nelson and his brother,
Matt Nelson of Nelson fame.
of Nelson
Yeah.
family, Ricky Nelson, the sons of Ricky Nelson, the sons of
Grandsons of Ozzy and
Ozzy and Harriet,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
are putting vocals on this, along with your vocals
What a
and my
trip.
vocals on the song.
What a trip.
Your friend, you and Jason, your friends are putting the, he's putting keyboards and strings.
Nathan Olson,
on,
yep.
Yep. Jason Carter producing this thing. I want to say that, well, it's a combination really, because it's a wild thing, because Ben and I have been playing the song so long. There's structure. You guys came in and honored
Yeah.
what we've been doing, started that, and then we sat there and attacked this song together. And you are a very accomplished musician yourself, so we all have put a lot of love on this. Tom Nunes came in and played bass when easily Silver could have played bass on the song, but Tom did a great job on my song "Paradise and Peace" for my brother. And what a great dude! What a great
Amazing
talent!
Mm-hmm.
And when I walked in your studio today, you were cranking the song, and it gave me chills. I'm like, that's what I call setting the mood. You were setting the stage, like setting the room.
Totally.
To do what we were doing right now. And and I had to share this because, well, one, we're recording this song at Wavelength Studios. Jason Carter, playing the drums, co-producing this. Ben Carey has been very helpful, who I wrote the song with helping you get there quickly within hours.
Sending me videos.
Hours.
Crazy.
You guys were already working on it on
actually.
October 1.
Because I knew you guys were busy that day, and I was like, there's no way they're going to answer, but that's okay. Here I am. I got the song, and Jason's like, we're going to do a session, and it was all happening very quickly.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, guys, I know you're busy, but Ben, how do you play this bit? And he did, like right away.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
He doesn't respond to anything like that. So everything about this was magic. And to have the commissioner calling, I'm talking to Jessie, my manager. Jessie Monville has been just such a beast, and she's been amazing, and she was keeping me focused. And then Brian Claypool saw the performance and said he was in tears, and how can I help? And I said, this is what's going on. And he's like, well, I'll help wherever I can. And then I'm like, well, I have to get to Portland like right now. And he goes, look up the tickets and I'll just sell you the money.
Wow.
And I went, what? He's like, yeah. And he did. So I was on a flight the very next day while you guys were already in the studio. Ben was giving you direction. Like I said, Tom Nunes on bass. You played all the guitars, sang some harmonies on the song. I went in and knocked out lead in 3 takes.
Yeah.
I sang the bridge once.
Yeah.
I realized that yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's only 1 take in the bridge.
Yeah.
But okay. I want to make sure that, is it enough? Do I need to double that today? I was like, going listening to it, whatever. But it was only 1 take. But there was magic that was going on in the room. And we've been sitting here shooting this, grabbing our phones. Before I leave today, I got to give you all the things from my phone, from Jason's phone, the city. Stacy, the woman who works there, is like, please take lots of video and pictures.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, I will. But then you stepped up and said, I'm going to put this together like a little mini documentary.
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Totally.
So what's your take? Like, I got to ask you, before I want to talk about Paradise and Peace, before we wrap this.
Sure.
How does the fight make you feel? Because coming from you guys, like I said, I set the room. I let you know where I came from. Because on October 1, the commissioner, I knew what he wanted. Stacy, this woman, she broke the news to me, but I didn't call him. I went to the healing garden to be with the families first and meet as many of the families as I possibly could. But I didn't know I was coming.
Right.
I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know how soon it was happening.
Sure.
I just needed to be in the moment.
Right.
not on my phone. I just performed the song to all those faces and all the people that came at 7:30 in the morning for this sunrise ceremony. And I spent the day there, and then I went back that night, and I held hands and took pictures, and there was another ceremony they did on the grounds where we're going to be playing as a band. We'll be playing on those grounds for the big show, whatever the date is. Right now it's December 6th.
Yeah.
But this is ours. But also I told the commissioner, your campaign, I want to be playing halftime at Allegiant Stadium, Golden Knights. He's like, that's our reach. So I said, let's go. You know, like, that's the way to put this out.
Sure.
Because, again, I did not want this song to be self-serving.
Right.
That's why it's taken 8 years.
Yeah.
I could have put it out with all those artists, or could have but I needed this moment.
Yeah.
This moment needed to happen. Otherwise, it was a song of healing, what we went back to at the beginning of this conversation.
Yeah.
What music does for us.
Totally.
That's what it was for me.
Yeah.
Nicole and I broke up. I have several songs about that.
Yeah.
I told you about somebody just walking through my life for a moment. I wrote about it. You were playing it with me last night.
Yep.
That's what I do. You know, woke up dreaming about a Christmas song. I had to go write it, but it was a breakup song. So I said it was like going to spend my first Christmas without her since I've known her. So I wrote the song, you know? And so at the end of the day, I need to ask you.
Yeah.
You guys heard the song. You knew what was going on. You knew what we just came from. You watched the videos. And how did that make you feel? And then also, how are you feeling now about where we are on this?
Wow. Very cool. Great question. And there's so much because I've been feeling your momentum ever since our first conversation, like a couple weeks ago on the phone, or maybe not even a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I've been excited, right?
Yeah.
And as I learn more about the story, you know, I've had to go back and even look it up and kind of do some research of my own and just kind of remember, because the world was watching when this was happening, you know, and it was just so shocking. The worst shooting
history
in American history, right? In terms of
numbers
killed.
Yep.
So I think I am feeling the weight of that in the song.
Yeah.
But as you said, we started tracking guitars. You know, Jason's like, "Hey, let's come in and get parts." Before you even arrived to the studio, and I knew what was going on, but also it's like, okay, I'm in work mode. We're trying to just find the tempo. We're going back to the recording that you sent us, which is the video that lives online, so you can actually go check out the video. It's still up today after, 7-8 years that it's been up. So we're trying to honor the parts. I'm going back to Ben's videos that he's sharing with me so I can see exactly how he's playing it. And I'm just kind of in work focus mode. But as you said, when you walked in, it's so funny that you say you set the room because I literally was feeling it as like, wow, you came in and you literally set the table for this moment that we're all sharing. And you really brought us in, and you told the story that you told was almost to the letter exactly the way you told it to Jason and I. And we were, I know I just watched Jason's face and I'm going back and forth to you, going back to Jason, and just watching. And I'm going, I can't even believe what I'm hearing right now. This is the most, I've never heard a story like this, Bryan. Not only that, but who else has a story to tell like you have, and a song that brings this kind of healing? And you talk about music as medicine, and that's what it is for me as well.
Yeah.
You know, as a songwriter, as an artist, and it is for so many people. And so, how do I feel about where it's going? I'm just stunned to be a part of it and honored to be a part of it.
Thanks, man.
And to be pulled into, you're such an incredible inspiration, such an incredible talent, but also you have this heart of gold, and you just open yourself up so readily to people. And ever since I met you, 10 plus years ago at the show we did with Kent, you know?
Yes.
I think I ran into, I was remembering as we were having dinner last night, I ran into you and Ben at a movie theater in Salem. I was like, holy shit, Bryan's here, you know? And
Wow.
and Ben, and I knew about Ben's music history as well. So it was just a trip, you know, to kind of like be, dude. And you mentioned your first band, just as an aside, Asa Cruz.
Yeah.
I was in high school when you guys rolled into town. You know what I mean? So so I've seen you for decades, you know. So it's really, I'm honored, man.
Thanks.
I'm really
honored too.
Yeah.
You are, and I keep saying, I've said it a couple times already, but I look at Jason. I'm looking at you guys right now because I go, this kid is so talented, and it's true. And there is an energy. There's an energy that you put off. Once you get going in this creative space, it's like you're buzzing in your seat and you're standing up. Yeah. And then if you don't, you're like, you'll grab your phone and you find it. Yeah. And whatever it is, right. It's like you just said, the history. I got to get the history behind whatever. There's something about that I admire because I'm not that way. Yeah. You are. And it's you. It's like I'm learning. I'm soaking up. And I appreciate it. And this has been the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, sure. That's why it didn't happen back then. This is the moment. And this moment was gifted to us by saying yes. I said yes to doing it this year. Back to songwriting. Songwriting is such a personal thing for me. It's like having my vocal diary for everybody to read. Yeah. Right? It's here's what Bryan's going through. Bryan. And if you really pay attention, some of these songs that sound happy are not happy or whatever, but it's how I'm coping. Once I get it done, I'm pretty much, once it's complete, I can walk through it. Sure. And I'm okay. Yeah. But I'm reminded every time, like I'll go into a vocal booth and go sing, and early on Ben would be like, are you okay? And I'm like, I will be, but I just spent 2-3 hours singing. I had to go back to that place and that space where I was to connect to the song. And he's like, oh. So then he started letting people know, hey, sure, you know, he's not the normal Bryan right now. Like he's got to go in there and it's not just reliving the song for 3 or 4 minutes on stage. It's reliving it to get this right in the moment. Well, do you feel like, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Do you feel like, we've been recording this in the studio. Yeah. You going in there and doing those vocal takes, has it taken you back to that moment? Yes. Yeah. And that's where we, and you might be able to grab some of this when you're putting this together. Sure. But I said to you guys, hey, I got to go get warmed up. And what it was I had to go do my warm-ups. And then I had to go outside and I had to go back. Here I am singing about this person that I'll never let go. I made a promise to her that night. Yeah. And I love her, so I had to let her go. I had to give that. I had to never letting go. It's like, come on. I hear that, and it's like it's crushing. Yeah. Because it's what I said. If we in this chapter of our lives, I would tell her all the time, if all I teach you, we learn from this, from each other, is being loved and be respected, and you learn how to be loved the proper way, like really be treated the way you're supposed to be treated, and you learn that from me. And if this doesn't go the distance, then just know that it's got to be this good or better. That's it. But in that moment, I made a promise to strangers that as long as I'm standing in front of you, you have my word, I'm going to get you out. Wow, man. Even though I did not know that could be the case. I didn't know if I could do that personally. But as long as I was standing upright and breathing in that moment, that's what they were going to get from me. And that's what that song is. And it represents that. So I had to step outside and reset myself, take myself to that place. And I jumped online and told everyone where I was and what I was about to do, because we were about to make music history. All the stories that you and I and Jason and you can read about in magazines or look up and hear, hey, you remember when this band went into, that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And I feel it.
Me too.
I've been doing this for so long that I know the moments that are like, whoo,
something's
about to happen.
Right.
I'm about to catch a wave.
Yep.
What I'm talking about.
Yep.
But I'm ready for this. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
There are times I probably wasn't ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for this now, and I can feel it, but it's bigger than just me.
Right.
Even though it's my first time stepping out as Bryan Hopkins, not a band, not Elvis Monroe, Paperback Hero, Ace of Cruz.
Yeah.
This is Bryan Hopkins. But if you learn anything in this short time of being around me, that's not my personality.
Yeah.
My personality is not me, look at me.
Oh, totally.
That's not who I am.
Yeah.
I am, everybody jump in the ship. If this rises, we're rising together.
Wow.
You know, we're
cool,
riding
man.
this together.
Yeah.
That's the way I am. And I also told you guys that there are times I walk in a room and I have been fortunate enough to get to play with, Ryan McMillan from Matchbox 20, Matt and Gunnar Nelson, who are singing on the song as we're talking about this right now. Ben Carey from Savage Garden, Lifehouse, Danny Sprero from Phil X and the Drills, Phil, who's played on the latest song for me, from Phil, who's in Bon Jovi.
Right.
Surrounded by world-class players, right? And David Pichette from Emerson Drive. More talent in his pinky than most people, period. Spoiled like that. When I walked into the room, we started recording this song. That's exactly where I was. But I'm in my hometown of Salem, Oregon, surrounded by world-class players, doing world-class things, and capturing a moment together. And if I have my way, they will be saying Josh Schroeder in the same way that they say their names. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I
So,
appreciate that.
and that's the truth. And Jason Carter, is
Legend.
he is
Legend.
that guy is so talented.
Yeah.
So talented. So for me, I felt like this is home. This is where I'm going to learn in this room.
Good.
I'm going to learn in this room as well.
Yeah.
And I sit back and watch and listen and throw in 2 cents here and there. And that's where music is just, we came back the other night. And to have Jason get excited, it's hard to make him excited about anything.
Right.
You know? But when he gets excited, it's like, wow.
Totally.
And he got so excited when we finished on night 2.
Yep.
We knew we had something special last night. It was just like, we were just kind of
putting the icing on, and
today's the last day.
Yeah.
And we get to wrap this up. We're in the eye of the storm right now.
Right. Right.
We're in the tube on the wave.
Yeah.
At the moment, riding it into the beach at the moment, and there's a lot. We got a ways to go to the beach, which is fine.
Yeah.
We'll just ride this one.
Right.
And see what happens next. So
incredible.
Yeah, man.
Bryan, thank you.
Yeah.
What a huge honor to have you here
Bro,
to tell the story.
You got to come be on my show.
I'd love
my
to
studio.
I'd love to be on your show. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you for everybody who's watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And again, appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. Bryan Hopkins, y'all. Incredible. Thanks.